Rockhold versus Anderson Silva. Both these guys were UFC champions. They both lost their titles, and they're both in the top 5 right now, fighting for another chance at the title, at the glory. The guy that really separated them was Chris Weidman. And Chris Weidman defeated Anderson Silva twice, while Luke Rockhold beat him. But in Luke Rockhold's first outing last time versus Michael Bisping, he lost the fight. And he was really cocky before the fight. He really thought he was going to win the fight. He was a different Luke Rockhold. He was a lot more arrogant, not the more humble guy that we thought he might be. And we wondered if he was going to get knocked out in that fight, if he was opening his mouth too much. But the betting people had him as a huge favorite, and people were riding him high. You know, he just beat Chris Weidman so badly, so decisively, cutting up Chris Weidman's face, smashing Chris Weidman, and ultimately embarrassing Chris Weidman, making Chris Weidman cry on his way out of there. Chris Weidman's feelings were hurt. He was mentally broke, physically broke, and we thought that Luke Rockhold, with that amazing build that he has and that great striking, those leg kicks that he throws out there, those high kicks that he has, was going to be the next guy. And he reminds us of Anderson Silva just a drop. He's a striker, and he likes to move around. He's much bigger. He's a big middleweight, 6'3", weighs in over 200 pounds, and before he cuts weight and gets down to 185 pounds. Anderson Silva used to, go up to 205, and that was a long time ago. But Anderson Silva showed us that at 41 years old in the Michael Bisping fight that he can still go 5 rounds, and that he still has it, and he's still almost as good as he always was. And in the Nick Diaz fight also, we saw a good Anderson Silva. We saw his leg shattered. We saw him knocked out. So Anderson Silva, at 41 years old is not stopping. He's ready to give it another shot. And I think this would be a really good matchup. This would be a really great striking fight. Luke Rockhold likes to strike as well, but after he gets the right hits in, we've seen him go for really vicious submissions. And he has great one-strike knockout power. I mean, even his legs can do that. With the kick to the body against Costa Filippo, it wasn't a punch that he threw. It was just a body kick, and we saw Costa fold. Anderson Silva has done so many great things in the cage. Really, we all know this. He's the best UFC fighter of all time. I mean, I guess you could say George St. Pierre also. And he might also be the best fighter of all time. So, and he hasn't lost it. So you can't doubt Anderson Silva until he's too old. And although he's had his problems like that leg kick, he's overcome that. And he's lost the Bisping fight. But a lot of people thought he won that fight. A lot of people thought that he won 3-2. And a lot of people poured out and cried and said that Anderson won that fight. And if he would have won that fight, he might have the title right now. But this fight wouldn't be for the title. And I want to ask you guys what you think about this matchup. Do you think this is a matchup that UFC has to make? This is just too good. That this middleweight division is up for grabs. That's one other thing I want to add. Bisping is the champion, but people doubt Bisping, and we know that the title might flip hands again and again and again. That's what's been happening lately. I would go with Anderson Silva on this fight. After that last fight that Luke Rockhold went out there and fought, he was embarrassed by Bisping, knocked out. I think that Anderson Silva could give us another great fight, and if this fight were to happen in the next 6 months, I would have to go with Anderson Silva, the Spider. Thanks, guys. I would love to see this fight.